Please help support the channel by visiting our Amazon store, affiliate link below.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is $3 Theater, and the X-Men Dark Phoenix trailer just dropped like 10 minutes ago. Now, of course, this was leaked online yesterday from Russia, so we don't really know if it's the same trailer. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, but I did watch the Russian leak, and of course, it was all in Russian and I couldn't understand it, although I got the general gist of what Simon Kinberg and company were trying to do for the fourth film in the X-Men First Class franchise, ultimately what's going to end the X-Men First Class franchise before going over to Disney, a movie that I ultimately feel is completely irrelevant and pointless at this point in time, but unfortunately that's not going to stop the Fox train from running with it, and that's not going to stop the Fox train from trying to capitalize on the amount of money that they invested into the product, which I completely understand. I get it. They want to make sure that everything is good. So without further ado, I thought we would just do a trailer reaction and then talk about it here over on 3BT. So what we've got is everything queued up here. So let's hope that it's good. Hope that it's not entirely crappy and that it's actually decent.
You think you can fix me?
Jean, you are not broken.
Yeah, she kind of is.
The mind is a fragile thing. Takes only the slightest tap to tip it in the wrong direction.
Charles, what did you do?
I had to keep her stable. I protected her.
From the truth?
Okay.
There's another word for that.
I came looking for answers.
You feel like you don't belong here. You don't. They can't begin to comprehend what you are.
She's changing.
And what?
You didn't come here looking for answers. You came here looking for permission. Jean.
All right, that was pretty good.
She's all rage, pain, and it's all coming out at once.
Jean lost control, but she's still our friend.
This is your fault, Charles. The world is on the brink. I'm sorry I didn't stop it sooner.
You're always sorry, Charles, and there's always a speech, and nobody cares.
There's still hope. Don't do this.
They're right to fear me.
I've seen evil. And I'm looking at it now.
Okay. All right. So definitely a movie that is going to be interesting to see when it comes out. So I'm trying to process how I feel about it. Nothing about it really kind of jumped out at me as being like, wow, oh my God. It's not one of those moments you see in these kind of trailers. And it might have to be with the fact that I saw most of this in the Russian leak. I got a general idea for it from the Russian leak. But I think part of my problem right now, one of the biggest issues that I have with this particular property as a whole is it's meaningless, right? It's absolutely, utterly meaningless that this film exists, and it's just it kills the excitement. The trailer looks well shot for Kinberg's feature film debut. The movie actually looks like it was well made. It looks like it's being relatively well acted. A lot of emphasis on Sophie Turner, who I believe has gotten a lot better as Game of Thrones went on, and we're getting to see more of her emotion, more of her range than just kind of being damsel in distress Sansa Stark. So we're getting more of that. Ty Sheridan, you know, he's pretty good as Cyclops. I enjoyed him and everything else, and I want to see what's going to happen with the rest of the cast. But again, the trailer seems to focus more on Xavier and Magneto and Mystique and Beast, and again, how many times in the trailer was Beast and Mystique out of character, out of costume? And I know that was a big issue with X-Men Apocalypse, where Jennifer Lawrence was like, I don't want to be in makeup no more, and I don't blame her. I don't blame her at all. But this again, it's the character. They signed on for 3 films. This movie just feels, everything about it just kind of feels crap at this point, because we know what's coming, right? We know, for one, how important the Dark Phoenix storyline is. 2, we know that Kevin Feige's already got ideas in play for what he's going to want to do. We already know that Kevin Feige can start plotting for how to bring in the Fox Marvel characters into the MCU as a whole. We know what's coming. And so watching a trailer like this just makes me go, right? Just kind of a big old meh, which is unfortunate, because it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way at all. I should be able to go and watch an X-Men movie trailer and get excited. And I remember 12 years ago when X-Men Last Stand came out and they made the attempt for the Dark Phoenix saga, in one movie, and it was good for what it was. It was, I've always enjoyed Last Stand for what it was. Not that it was necessarily a good comic book movie, but I always enjoyed it. I've always had a soft spot for it. This one to me just, again, feels like they didn't really do much to, what's the tension here? I mean, at least at the end of X-Men United, she dies. We see the Phoenix underneath Alkali Lake. We know what's coming. They at least gave us a cliffhanger, and 2 years later, we got to see it. This one, it's been 2 years, or it's been longer than 2 years, I think. No, it's been 2 years since X-Men Apocalypse came out. There was no cliffhanger ending at the end of that thing, so Dark Phoenix should have been like a 2-parter, or something they were alluding to, like the end of one of their phases, and they just didn't do it. They gave it to us in one movie. And again, it feels like it's focusing more on Magneto and Charles than it is on Jean. And fine. If that's how they want to play it, that's how they want to play it. Cool. I just don't really feel that it's necessary. I don't really feel that it's something that coming out on February 14th, they're trying to get that Black Panther money. They're trying to capitalize on it being a date movie for that weekend. And superhero movies, or comic book movies, I should say, can traditionally do well in that period of time. Lego Batman came out, a week before Valentine's Day. We had Black Panther coming out after Valentine's Day this year. Kingsman: Secret Service came out Valentine's Day 2015. Deadpool 2016 Valentine's Day. So it is a good weekend when you're trying to push a comic book movie or a comic book property. So we know that traditionally the last few years we've seen a release at that time, and it's done pretty well. So monetarily speaking, that could be it. That could be the reason why they're doing it. But I think unless this ties into the greater MCU, no one's going to care. No one is going to give a shit. No one is going to rush out to go see X-Men Dark Phoenix, or just Dark Phoenix, outside of pure utter curiosity. Like, I'm going to go see it because, yeah, pure utter curiosity, and I review things for a living. So that's one of the reasons why. But I just, at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. Maybe the next trailer will wow me. Maybe we're going to find out that this is going to be tied in to the MCU. We know right now they're doing reshoots on the movie. We know right now that they're doing all of these things to really kind of, to beef out whatever story's there. We know Jessica Chastain is an alien. Is she a Kree? Because it takes place in the 90s, right around the same time as Captain Marvel. So is it going to tie into Thanos' snap? Is that going to be a thing? Are they going to find a way to bring them together, to merge the worlds together in order to continue the storyline that way? I mean, weirder things have happened, and all they have to do for it to work, and this is true, it's not that fans are going to be wanting some kind of super succinct, what's the word I want to use? The super succinct like plot point to make it work. I mean, look at the Arrowverse. Look at them bringing over, Supergirl. It's just, they have this portal. Okay. Okay. We get to bring them together. Cool. That's fine. No one's going to care. No one's going to care. But at the same time, they can't tie the two universes together and have it be one succinct storyline, because, well, we would have known about it. We would have known about the events from the 1960s with, or the 1970s with Days of Future Past. We would have known of the incident involving the Cuban Missile Crisis from First Class. I mean, they've they've really kind of bungled this thing. And never mind the fact that it's meant to take place in a different decade, right? First Class in the 60s, Days of Future Past in the 70s, Apocalypse in the 80s, this one in the 90s, and yet no one looks older, right? Charles Xavier was 1963 was when First Class was a thing, and he was in his 20s. He would be 30 years older. He'd be in his 50s now. James McAvoy doesn't look like he's in his 50s. He looks like he is, 8 years older. And so again, they've just kind of really, I never thought I would not be excited for an X-Men movie, right? I never thought I wouldn't be excited, but this one just doesn't wow me. But I put it to you. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments below. Is it worth your time? Is it not worth your time? If you've made it this far, type Phoenix in the chat so I know you guys did. And hopefully they'll do more with this to make me get excited. But until then, I'm not really like holding my breath. I'm just waiting for the signing of the transfership of properties from Fox to Disney, for Kevin Feige to get his new toy chest and then to go and create. And I think when that happens, then I can get excited. But until then, it's very, very, very difficult. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day, and peace out.